Last year I contacted BEMRI, which is the Bioelectromagnetic Research Initiative, because I knew that they were experts and I wanted to find out about 5G in Gateshead apparently being emitted from the lamppost, according to Mr. Mark Steele. Now, what transpired was communications between myself and a member of the organisation, who then went to Gateshead and tested the lampposts, which were negative for 5G. Now it transpires that BEMRI have taken it upon themselves to issue a public statement saying that it was nothing to do with them and threatening me with legal action if I say anything derogatory. Well, I'm not going to say anything derogatory. What I'm going to do is share with you the emails so that you can see what transpired and make your own mind up if you think this organisation were involved or not. So I sent this email on the 29th of April to David Webb, who is was a member of BEMRI, asking him what he thought about the claims being made about the antennas on the street lamp. His reply was that he'd been in contact with Steele and that he told Steele that Steele wasn't using the proper equipment, that himself and another member of the group offered to go freely. They were surprised that he didn't take them up on this offer. They also said that it could help Steele with his very worthy campaign. And it states, and I quote, "As a scientific group, BEMRI.org, we welcome people such as you sharing information that is mutually beneficial." Now, does that seem clear that this member is talking to me and corresponding with me as a member of BEMRI? So I arranged for two people to have surveys. One was a lady named Elizabeth who resides in the Gateshead area. As you can see in this email, he clearly states, please mention BEMRI and people can find out about us but avoid using my name online. Well, I'm very sorry, but I've got no choice, have I? Because I've got BEMRI telling me not to mention in public that they were involved. Now I've got the member that of the organisation telling me that I should only mention them and not mention his name personally. He also mentions that he fails to see Mark and his twin brother Graham's motives after they made it clear that they didn't want him to survey and that Mark gave him nothing but abuse on the phone. After this testing was done, he rang me up on the phone and read out a report that he told me that he was going to be giving to BEMRI, as he did with all of his surveys. The very next day I sent him this email: are you still going to give me the full report that you read out to me on the phone, which you said you would also give to me? Okay. And as you can see, on the very same day, he sent me this email: best keep the message simple so that people can follow it. And then he wrote me out the report. Now, I was asking more questions, so then he sent me this email back. It's a statement that he claims it's a statement from Alistair Phillips. I don't know whether it is really from Alistair Phillips. I couldn't guarantee that, but this is what David claimed that he'd sent. Alistair Phillips, by the way, is one of the hundreds of scientists who signed the moratorium against 5G. And it states, quote, Mark is right to be concerned, but then he states that he's convinced that Mark is winding people up with good intentions but incorrect information. Well, I've shown since that it's not good intentions at all. He is controlled opposition. So I then sent this. Does this sum up the whole episode, which I stated that after contacting BEMRI with regards to the question of the lamppost in Gateshead emitting the signals, they informed me that they had offered to use specialist equipment to test for free and were in communication with Steele. And I got this in reply. As you can see, replied at just gone 6:15 in that very same evening. Yes, what you've written is fine and we'll prepare more information as soon as I have time. Now, what I've written is saying that I contacted BEMRI and he, as a member of BEMRI, has contacted me and said, yes, what you've written is fine. So how can that possibly mean that BEMRI were not involved? 5 months later in October, I wrote him another email and I asked him for a copy of the report because I wanted to put it on my website, because people were stating that the official report hadn't been done, so they wanted to see it. So I asked him, can I have this report, please? I've been telling people what you've told me, so I need the proof of that. I spoke to him on the phone after that and he assured me that he would give me the report. And then I got this. This was sent the next day. As you can see, it's sent to myself and Liz, who was the lady who was at Gateshead when the testing was done. That after discussing this with the rest of the group, they decided that it wasn't in their best interests to go ahead and give us any more information, and they've said for some reason about Mark Steele. So at this point I was really annoyed now. So in my next email, I basically just said, that's it, I'm just going to make all the emails public. Either I can do that with Benry's help, or I'll do it, like I've said, I'll just make all the information available via the emails. Like I said, you can either send me a report, the one you've already passed on to them, or one that you've updated, as long as they state the facts that I know are already, they've already showed me the facts. So then he's now saying if I publish anything that goes against what he's requested, it'll go badly for me. Mark will have a field day, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's had a field day now, hasn't he? Because Benry's all given him a public statement that there's nothing to do with them. So then we just didn't communicate anymore, and he sent the report to Liz, who then forwarded it on to me. So, as you can see in the report, in May 2018, Benry visited Gateshead. It doesn't say David Webb, it says Benry. So I'll leave you with that. You can make your own mind up. Suffice to say that the tests showed that the Gateshead Lampposts were not transmitting 5G signals, and Steele has proven himself to be linked to all the UK and EU 5G pushing agencies. He's got smart technology for sale on the Israeli Homeland Security website, as well as Defence Supplies UK, and his company was consulted on the Smart Specialisation Programme by the council back in 2013, the same council he's claiming to be fighting. And his answer to stopping 5G is to join his political party when 5G's already been rolled out now. Have we got time for a political party? No, we haven't. So I'll leave it up to you. And if Benry wants to take legal action, then go ahead, because I'm quite happy to. I've got the proof, okay? So feel free. And I'll let the public make their own minds up about what's just transpired. Okay, so I'm Annie Logical. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe.